Meme coins are tearing in this video, and XRP is sitting still. I want to talk about something that I think is incredibly important right now, and it's a subject I get asked about constantly. I wish to demonstrate to you why that is occurring as well as discuss the precise long-term trajectory of XRP. And the reason why, gentlemen, I currently have such little faith in the market. I think you're going to walk away from this, and I think it's really essential to comprehend. Video with significantly deeper comprehension. Precisely what's happening in the market. As always, your support is really appreciated on this channel. Thank you to everyone who has liked the videos and subscribed. We are extremely close to reaching 50K subscribers, so your support would be greatly appreciated as well. I want to start this video by discussing something that I believe is crucial for everyone to grasp at this time. The prevalence of meme currencies is proof that retail speculation still controls a significant portion of the market. Growing rapidly, but retail traders are driving it, correct? Retail holders, who are not long-term, knowledgeable investors, are driving it. We all seem to be aware of where this market is headed toward utility, not just speculation. It is headed towards various cryptocurrency networks and cryptocurrencies that are genuinely changing the financial system. Yes, this has happened previously, if you look at the dot-com bubble. During the doom bubble, several speculative enterprises saw extreme pumping. Things like Amazon and do better than something like pets.com. Not actually what I meant to say was that Google and all those other large tech companies, but also pets.com, were these extremely risky businesses the winners of the theme era? Actually, retail was taking place. Become very enthusiastic about the innovation but struggled to grasp how to invest in it because they were unfamiliar with these business structures and the internet. They were selecting items at random that they thought was cool now, but that didn't imply that Amazon was owned by Google. The major institutions were preparing to invest in those positions during the entire period that the apples were bad investments. In actuality, those were the investments that they were increasing their positions in. All they wanted to see was a bit more. Before they began rolling in, they wanted to make sure everything was established, but ultimately, we discovered that the extremely speculative companies that pumped the hardest and quickest weren't always the winners. In fact, they were frequently the ones who lost. What I believe is that many individuals don't comprehend the market is currently that large. Institutions are still waiting for the current state of affairs to stabilize. Don't get me wrong, I see the CFTC actively working to advance regulations for the Bitcoin sector. Although the regulations governing cryptocurrencies have advanced significantly, allowing the industry to flourish in the US, this indicates that we are still living in the pre-2000 age. The bubble wouldn't even apply to cryptocurrencies, which we don't even have regulations yet, making it extremely difficult for the big money to actively invest large sums of money in these projects when they are still so speculative in their eyes. Because of this, retail has been pouring money into the meme, investing in the projects that they believe will pump the hardest and look cool but may not necessarily have that long-term potential. In reality, viability doesn't exist. Usefulness right now if your only objective is to grab the next pump to make a fast 10x and leave. Although there is undoubtedly a genuine possibility of meme coins, that's not exactly what I'm searching for. I'm searching for sustainable prices as well as long-term price growth. Long-term profits that don't evaporate quickly and fall by 90 to 80%. Look it over. Look at the Amazon folks over at Apple. They weren't exchanging these equities, therefore, who owns them and who has held them for the previous 10 to 15 years is correct. They weren't coming and going from pets.com, buying additional Amazon shares, and then selling them quickly. Instead, the majority of these customers said, "Oh, I just bought it. I kept it for the entire era and haven't touched it since." With XRP, I want to do the same because it's the best plan available both statistically and strategically. Anyone who has experience investing traditionally and can attest to the benefits of long-term ownership of the appropriate dollar amount, the secret to truly making money is to average these. which is why I believe that many people are getting sucked into the current hype about all these shiny coins, pumping really hard, and worrying that they will miss out on something if they don't invest in one of these. But the thing that I believe is so important to emphasize, this historical evidence indicates that these will not be the long-term winners. Rather, the projects with practical applications will be the long-term winners. This was what I witnessed earlier today. And this, in my opinion, gives you a pretty fair indication of what long-term utility in the actual world is. This is Volante. Volante is a business that currently works with the Fed, and some of the rails for their payment are XRP and Ripple. As a result, what we're witnessing right now is that Belt is a company that is actively using XRP and Ripple as their rails, which is a long-term utility, and working with the most significant payment system on Earth, or one of the most significant payment systems on Earth. That isn't a pump intended for speculation. This marks the start of the construction of the next financial system. It was Amazon. Expanding upon their webpage, their complete method of transporting cargo from point A to point B was Google. In the early days of developing their server farms, Apple was also developing their initial designs for the iPhone. Now, these were the types of things that created the long-term worth of long-term price appreciation, not the hype that was pumping up the market. I believe that many people are waiting for the market to be in a place where it isn't today. People want the market to understand what is being developed behind the scenes and for this long-term value to already be occurring, but that hasn't happened yet. But that is really likely to happen soon. As laws and regulations are implemented, these many businesses can establish themselves in the U.S. and truly take hold of the world's most significant financial system. Utility projects are going to take off, and businesses like Ripple and digital asses like XRP have had the proper approach from the beginning. However, I want people to understand that just because something isn't pumping first doesn't mean it's not the first to move. It won't be the greater winner in the long run. I'd like to show you a few charts now, mostly to explain why nothing I've seen is even slightly worrying. This is one of the most significant charts, in my opinion, and it's really straightforward. Only XRP is opposed to Bitcoin. Guys, as you can see, XRP always trailed behind when Bitcoin reached an all-time high. As you can see, XRP hasn't changed, and Bitcoin is at a record high right now. You can also see this right here. Since XRP hasn't changed and Bitcoin is setting new all-time highs, it is clear that Bitcoin always moves first. Right, and then XRP follows. Nothing appears to have changed between then and today. Bitcoin is leading the way, and it appears that XRP will soon follow. My observations have led me to become more positive and bullish than I have been in this market for a very long time. The notion that Bitcoin is rising to record highs virtually guarantees that XRP will soon be available. Following a significant breakout, Bitcoin usually kind of fires the market. Retail begins to take off and buy all the meme coins, buying all these different items, when Bitcoin gets everyone enthusiastic again, but in the end, the astute investors recognize that such an outcome is unlikely to persist. What will happen in the long run? The projects are rounded over the long run. XRP is one of the projects that aim to establish practical applications that will endure in the financial system. As a result, the money eventually enters XRP many times. Does this money really make XRP perform better than a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin? Right now, we are keeping an eye on the market. It's just marketing speak for retailers. Speculation, but that will ultimately come to an end and have no practical use in the long run. What we've witnessed over the last few months will give way to projects. Massive collaborations with central banks, automated market makers, and the imminent clawbacks of all these diverse utilities make XRP enormously more useful. XRP's fundamentals have never looked better. We are seeing the development community thrive more than it did previously. XRP consistently tracks Bitcoin, and each bull market sees the asset rise to all-time highs. Let us know if XRP is heading upward on the fundamental side if there are fundamental increases. The price of Bitcoin is rising. The fact that XRP's price is parabolic indicates that it is probably very close to seeing a similar exponential increase in value. Everything that we can see is in order. XRP functions as a utility perfectly, and I just want to develop something so that I can see people every single day. People are becoming so fixated on the immediate price movement that they are losing their minds. Centered around daily events, but our comprehension of those events is not what counts. XRP has been fluctuating in price. Gentlemen, that is precisely what XRP does. It has been operating in this range for a few years now. It is doing and receiving what it has always done. Overly preoccupied with every small movement inside this enormous triangle. The fact that we've been trading sideways for so long means that someday XRP will break out and make its big move, so it's really just a fool's errand. Nothing has occurred in such a long time, which just increases the likelihood that we are much closer to, guys, that massive exponential increase is going to happen. As Bitcoin pushes higher, XRP will break out and reach the $5 to $10 region. These are the things we know heading into 100K. In the past, this has repeatedly occurred. Once more, but XRP has always lagged historically, so it's absurd to anticipate anything different this time. It's absurd to assume that retail traders who are ignorant of these marketplaces and deal in meme currencies will also trade XRP. The large establishments, the large, sophisticated investors are aware that XRP has a strong long-term outlook, but it is unrealistic to expect the irrational market to comprehend these well-reasoned assumptions. Rather than focusing on space surroundings, which is something you should never focus on because it will never happen, long-term patterns indicate that utilities are attempting to adapt these short-term hype narratives to long-term investments. Anyhow, strategies are never going to be effective. I hope this makes sense to you guys. We know which cryptocurrencies are more institutionally focused on any of them, and we are still in a position to benefit from one of the largest bull markets driven by institutions that we have ever witnessed. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I've never felt more sure about where we sit anyway. Many thanks for attending. I hope this was enjoyable for you. Update: it would be very appreciated if you could like and subscribe if you did.